This next set of exercises is going to help you with hip internal rotation. If you feel any pain during any of these exercises, please stop. First thing I'd like you to do is go through a hip CARS series. If you don't remember how, please click the description in the link below. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to get into a 90-90 position. That looks like this. 90 degrees at the knee and 90 degrees at the ankle. Same on the back leg. Perfect. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to start by stretching the back leg first because we're going to be really focused in on this right side, and then just do the same thing on the other leg. This is going to start really easy and work your way up until more complex movements, so only do what you feel like you can. Alright, so first of all, what you want to do is you want to try and bring the midline of your chest into the midline of your leg here by rotating your upper back. Next, what you want to try and feel is that this sit bone here is touching the floor. If you can't, that probably means that there's a limitation in your hip, and that's okay because we're going to be working on improving that. The other thing that you want to be conscious of is that this front leg here doesn't come up off the floor. Nice and stable through there. So you're going to hold this stretch for about 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds is up, what you're going to do is an isometric contraction or a muscle contraction without any movement. So what you want to picture is that your ankle is going to be scooping up against the ground. So pushing into the ground while your knee stays stable, your ankle stays stable, and there's no actual movement. What you want to do is you want to ramp up the contraction up until about 80 to 100% of your max contraction. Okay? And you're going to do that for about 15 seconds. So go ahead. After the 15 seconds is done, what you want to do is you want to try and sit back into that hip again. So again, make sure that this knee doesn't want to come up, and really try and sit back so that that sit bone is starting to slide back towards the ground. Alright, so try and do that about 3 or 4 times. After that is done, what we want to do is what we call a passive range hold. What that means is you're going to be grabbing up on your ankle as high as you can. Okay? If you lean forward, you'll be able to get more movement and it'll be easier, whereas if you try and stay up, it's going to be a little bit harder. As well as if you lean backwards, it'll be easier, as if you lean and face upwards, it's going to be a little bit harder. Okay? So we're going to have it up and like so. What we want to do is we want to let go of our ankle. But before we do that, we want to make sure that you have the contraction started in the glute so that your ankle doesn't go down towards the floor. We want to try and keep it up as high as you can for as long as you can, okay? So hold that up there, get your glutes firing. You're going to feel a nice deep stretch or deep activation in through your glutes, and then slowly let the ankle go. Now you see there is a little bit of droppage there. We want to try and limit that as much as we can. And hold that for about 8 seconds. And slowly let it down. You can play around with that. If you can only hold it for 4 seconds, work your way up, and the ideal is you work your way up to about 10 seconds. Okay? And again, you want to try and limit the amount of lag or movement when you let go of the ankle. Perfect. The last exercise that I'd like you to work on is what we call a passive range liftoff. So what you want to try and do is try and do that first motion where you push your leg into the ground for about, again, that 10 to 15 seconds. And after you're done that, you're going to try and lift your leg up off the floor. Again, if you lean forward, it's going to make it a little bit easier. And if you lean back, it's going to make it a little easier. So if you're feeling it's difficult to get the ankle off the floor, that's okay. It's completely normal. Again, this is a progression on how to make this exercise harder. So if you can't do this yet, don't worry, we'll work our way up there. If you can lift your ankle off the ground, try putting a yoga block under your ankle, like so, and then try it again. So push into the ground for that 10 to 15 seconds, and then lift up a little bit higher. And as you can see, that'll help increase the range of motion in your hip for internal rotation. Thanks for giving this a try, and hope you like it.